Welcome everyone to a very special casted game because today we've got game number 1 of the Noodle Hair Cup. That's right, you heard it, Noodle Hair Cup. It's a 2v2 tournament. And without further delay, let's introduce the players because in the north, in the warm colours, we've got Baltoon in red as the French. And alongside him, we've got Kaker playing in orange as the English. Up against them today, spawning in the south in the cool colours of teal. We've got Zevre playing as the Japanese. And then we've got Myriad in blue playing as the French. Welcome everyone to Dry Arabia. Certainly an interesting civilization matchup. You got the English and the French in the north as the warm colours. A very typical 2v2 kind of setup there going. But we've got something a little bit different. We've got Zevre with the Japanese with the French in the south. We'll talk about the civilization matchups. Lots to talk about, lots to unpack. Of course, at various different ages, both civilizations, both sets of teams will have various different power spikes. We'll talk about that in just a moment because what I'm curious to see is how quickly players venture out onto Deer Camp. It's actually quite a favoured approach in many 2v2 kind of formats or team game formats because you get food faster that way, of course. And it's always nice to get the food early because it's often a contested area on the map. Doesn't look like anyone's really gone for the deer camp just yet. The Japanese, of course, go for the berries. Very fast at gathering, especially once they've got Tawara, giving them extra gather rate from the berry bushes. Pretty fast. Up and down the south here. What's going on? Myriad. Okay, he's going to be warding up his gold. Understandably so, actually. We do see this a lot from the French players. You must get your gold controlled because if you lose gold, that means no knights. No knights. Let's just say it's a very sad French. And of course, the barracks opening for the English was probably looking to try and put some pressure on that. In fact, where is the unit? It's quite difficult to tell on the minimap. I wish it was a little bit clearer, but I don't see the unit just yet. Is that it there? Okay, there we go. 2 man-at-arms, Vanguard man-at-arms. But unfortunately, I'm actually not going to be able to achieve too much out of this. But it is what it is. He's trying something. And small walls coming out from Zevre as well. So it kind of really nullifies that. And it's a big deal. It's a pretty big investment. Of course, you've got the extra wood cost involved, but then also actually producing the man-at-arms is food and gold, both of which resources you need to get to the next stage, the Feudal Age. Means the timing there for Kaker will be a little bit delayed without being able to achieve too much. Speaking about next stage, both players who are playing the French are indeed going up to the next stage with the School of Cavalry. No real surprises there. You need the knights out, you need them quick. But what becomes really interesting... Oh, wait, what? How did they... Wait a minute. Did he just sneak around? I mean, I guess the walls aren't long enough and... Oh, that's really awkward. It was just this segment here, and Zevre, unfortunately, is pushed off gold, which doesn't hurt him too much. He will be getting to the next stage, but it kind of forces his hand a little bit. He may need to consider going for archers, which in the short term is not great. Like, you kind of want to be playing cavalry if you can on a map like this. But an archery range isn't too bad for Zevre and the Japanese, especially in the Castle Age when you might start thinking about getting the transition to Onamusha. A cavalry unit, well, kind of a cavalry unit. It's made from the archery range, but it's basically a crossbow on horseback, which is great, of course, going up against French knights. Of course, you've got to get to the Castle Age. We may not get there for a while because when you've got French players involved in a team game, things can get spicy really quickly. Cura Storehouse going up with the extra food and also drop-off point on the wood. So Villager, get out of there. Vanguard man-at-arms going to get a couple of arrows in the butt. They will escape. Oh, maybe not. Okay, he will get out of there. Going to go for the forge. So I guess in the end, this actually did pay off. I mean, we weren't really expecting it, but it did. It will be the Abbey of Kings. No real surprises there. Council Hall was nice for like an aggressive timing attack, but ultimately it's pretty limited in terms of longevity and how much it plays a role in the game. Instead, Abbey of Kings gives you access to, well, a king, which is great when you think about healing for your French royal knights. Of course, the French do have their own upgrades to be able to heal on up, the chivalry tech, which is always nice, but you don't often get it super early in the feudal age, and, well, it means that the English king, joined up with Baltoon's French knights, could take some really interesting early engagements. In fact, it's not going to be archers opening. It's going to be a barracks, so Zevre just not going to mind. It is ultimately only 2 Vanguard man-at-arms. Spearmen will help him against, French royal knights that might attack. Speaking of which, here's the first engagements. And when you've got 2 French players, it really comes down to the early battle. Like, I think we're going to be focusing on the French a little bit here. Understandably so, because, well, yeah, in the early game, that's what it's all about. I would like to say, by the way, a very big thank you for everyone who's been supporting the channel. You know, whether it be, just to be honest, just watching the videos. I really appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. We're going to be making a bit of a switch into team games, I feel. I'm enjoying it a lot. And I think what's great is the fact that this Noodle haircut is going to give us a lot of matches. And, will he get a charge? He should get a second hit and get a kill. If he can click on the villager, click it. There we go. First blood there. But he might lose a knight, actually. He just about gets it out of there. Oh, he doesn't. The charge came in with the secondary knight. Nice pick off their Baltoon. I mean, ultimately, killing a villager, certainly helpful. But losing a knight can be devastating. Like, you really need numbers early on. And often we see players add a second stable as soon as they can. And there it is. There it is from Baltoon already. Now, I was just on that thought, by the way. So, yeah, appreciate you guys sticking around on the channel. We will be making a bit of a content adjustment, I think. We've been casting a lot of 1v1s, and I do enjoy it, but it gets a little bit stale after a while. When you've seen as many games as I have, you kind of need to switch things up. I'm playing a lot of team games myself, ranking up the ladder, and perfect timing for the Noodle haircut, for me at least, because it means a lot of games. I'll leave the brackets, by the way, in the as a link in the video description. You can check out all the players and not when they're playing, but just how the matches have been. In fact, I'm putting it up now. Those are the players that are involved. Plenty of top quality players there. In fact, I'll get it off the screen now, because just pause it here if you want to really look at the players, because we're going to be seeing some action with knights before too long. But yeah, plenty of strong players. And yeah, I'm excited. If you are enjoying team games yourself and want to see more, make sure that the video does well, basically. That's what I kind of want to say. I'm going to cast it anyway, most likely, because I'm enjoying it myself. But it's always nice to see videos do well. So make sure you give the video a thumbs up if this is the kind of content that you want to see. If you're more interested in 1v1s, and I'm sorry, but I'm just enjoying team games right now. You're going to have to make do. And maybe we'll pivot back at some point as the... well, I'm hoping teams are just going to be fun. So, oh, good pick off here by 2 villagers. Going down, and there's a third and a fourth. No, the fourth one managed to escape. But yeah, nice pick off there by Baltoon. And that's the power of the second stable. Let's just take a look if Myriad's got his. He does have his second stable out on the field now. Go for the charge again. So yeah, we talked about Deer Camp and taking it early, and we're in the situation now, actually, you're kind of under attack. It's a bit more tricky to take it now as he does charge on in, and Baltoon has got the healing coming in from the English King. It's so powerful at this stage of the game. Dives a little bit too close to the town centre with those 2 knights. Baltoon does back away. And the main thing really in this situation is to make sure you don't lose your knights. If you lose a bit of HP, not the end of the world. You can go back and heal on up. You kind of want to be aggressive with your knights, but what you really can't afford to do is lose them. Oh, English King. He's got to be careful not to lose that one. Now, you can make this again, of course. But these little engagements, these little skirmishes get a bit dicey when if you lose too many knights early on. So hardened spearman, hardened samurai, and a couple of Yumi Ashigaru. Charging on in. Myriad's got to be really careful. There is a really weak knight there. 11 HP. What's coming really interesting in this dynamic, I'm kind of curious to see what the English are up to. Second town centre. That's going to be great for the economy here for Keika. Oh, picks off a knight. Baltoon loses one. Tries to get a bit of a snipe there, I think, but Myriad trying to bait that English King. Almost achieved it, but he would back it away. And looks like Zevre going forward now with a good few units. Good few number of units that could do some damage. Oh, Myriad might need to back away. Gets the charge off. But probably doesn't quite have enough there. And he will be backing off home. Oh, the gold. It's under pressure. This is great, actually. I mean, you don't want to lose too many units here. I don't think you can dive this, Kenny. He doesn't really have much torch damage out of the spears. Not enough, at least. I'm sure it's causing a bit of idle time. I'm not so sure about this from Zevre. Can he take it down? Oh, maybe, to be fair, he'll be able to, actually. Okay, fair enough. He's got enough there. I guess the towers are pretty weak at this stage of the game. And this is big. He's going to get some good villager kills here. No doubt about it. And more importantly as well is idle time and gold income, which means less knights. He does manage to torch that down in the end. Kind of surprising. You lose a decent number there. Knights will clear this up. But they paid for themselves, really, these units. And the damage they've done. Means Baltoon won't be able to keep pumping. Not out of 2 stables, at least. If he gets around, though, It's not ideal that Zevre loses the big chunk of his army. Here comes the English Knights, though, with Chivalry in now for Myriad. That'd be great for the healing. Get them fully healed on up. And then attack once again. Definitely got a bit of a push coming here for the cool colours of the south. Baltoon having to defend a little bit, but he does need to save gold. Oh, this is not great for Myriad. The numbers are looking good for Baltoon. That's one thing that's in his favour. Sure, he's having to defend a little bit here. Loses yet another villager. But he is not in a terrible spot when it comes to unit numbers. And I guess in this situation, one thing you have to bear in mind playing team games, if you have the French, often the French are there to buy your teammates some time to do their thing. And, well, Cake has had a lot of time to boom away. Second town centre. Look at that farming transition. Look at the food he's got. 1,200 food in the bank. The other side of things, Zevre, his economy not really half as strong. Sure, he's got the Cura Storehouse, got a couple of farms that are free. But this economy's buzzing. Myriad going to try and get onto that wood line. It will be Castle Age coming on in to protect the farms with the White Tower. This could be a decent time to dive on in here. Although he won't want to lose too many of his knights, and Baltoon recognizing the danger, protecting the age up, and that's exactly what you want to do. And that's the benefit of having a teammate rather than your 1v1. You can see that situation being very different if it was just Kaker and Myriad. You can see those knights diving on those villages. Instead, Baltoon's got his knights to protect it. The second town centre will set up the English great for the late game. The crazy thing is, not only is he a second town centre, he is the first of the Castle Age. Not really managed to produce many units. I mean, he's only got 3 military units. I mean, Baltoon generally has held back 2 players. The French Knights from Myriad and the infantry units from the Japanese. Got an outpost, just taking Kaker's gold. Fair enough. He's not using it at the moment. He's using this one. As Myriad does, go around the back. Try and find some damage. Village coming out to the... Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Myriad, no! No! Oh, okay. Wait, is that villager hitting the wolf with meat? It looked like it. Okay, that's one way to kill a wolf, I guess. But trade will be set up here for Myriad. Looking to expand his economy, and French trade is certainly something really powerful because you can toggle the traders onto other resources. And of course, what you really want is food as well as gold, as Baltoon looks to protect the economy around the back, and he's got more numbers. Gonna charge on in. Myriad needs to back away. I don't think it's really a fight he can take. Not at this stage of the game, at least, with these numbers. The question is, what's going to win here? The second town centre English play, that economy boost, or is it going to be the French trade for the cool colours of the south? Oh, English king. Is he actually checking on the trade? It looks like he might be. He might find it. I want to keep a close eye on this as well. Does Kaker spot this? Is he actually checking for trade? I mean, it's not on bad... Whoa, a bit of a ring around the rosy. Oh, good charge on in there. Picks off one knight and the scouts. Vision's going to be lacking for Myriad for sure. I'm the English king. Yeah, he's spotting it. Wait, is he spotting it? Is he actually intentionally checking this or just going to run around? I mean, he should be able to see this now, in fact. Oh. Did I just give away the time of the game? I didn't know. Okay. No worries. I'll edit that out. Don't worry. You won't see that bit. That's coming down the south. Oh, he did lose the king in the end. It is what it is. As Myriad now, it's going to be, well, coming back home really, joining forces with the other knights. Bit of a pincer action on the wood line. This could be dangerous actually if he does go for it. But it's just for Baltoon. Does back away. Going to retreat to the town centre. And Myriad has a lot of numbers here. And of course the Japanese going to join suit with a lot of Yumi Ashigaru. Kind of curious choice of unit actually, I've got to say. Like, I feel like the tricky thing about Yumi Ashigaru and team games is they often don't scale very well. And the reason why is because once you get Castle Age, these guys become a lot less relevant. You kind of want your crossbows, you want your Onimusha. But you will be getting to the Castle Age, speaking of, with the floating gate, potentially looking to pick some of those relics up. Still a very relevant unit, has made it work thus far. And when you've got a screening army with these knights in front of them, they can still do some work. I wonder if Myriad's thinking about diving. We'll see soon enough. Maybe let's try and burn these 2 outpost villages. Will be running out of there. Will they get away? Charge comes on through, but this could be a bit of a trap. No, he decides to not take the engagement. There's way too many units here from the Japanese, and they are starting to push. Baltoon losing yet more villagers. And the issue is that Keika doesn't really have as much army. He's slowly getting there, of course. He's got so much food at the moment. Is he going for Imperial Age behind this? Because he's got a lot of food in the bank. Royal Institute will be coming in for Myriad, as it is in play now for Baltoon. He is up to the Castle Age. No doubt we'll be getting the upgrade soon. Let's take a look at that, actually. Yeah, there it is. There's the veterancy coming on in. Only a few more seconds left on that. 10 seconds. And then he'll be keen to take a fight, especially with the crossbows behind this. He won't mind this. Now, Zevre's situation, he's really got to focus fire on those crossbows if he can with his Yumi Ashigaru. Does have the Yumi Bannerman as well. Just giving them that little bit of extra attack damage. 15%. Not too shabby. Myriad up to the Castle Age himself as well. Now I was going to the berries, not the berries, rather the deer. These would be funny looking berries. Now certainly, as the French players, you don't really want to, you want to delay your farm transition for as late as possible. Just so you can pump out as much units as you can. Myriad, let's see, take a look how many traders he's got. Not many, but that'll slowly ramp up. 2 trade outpost markets. Kind of curious to see if Zevre will follow suit. Oh, interesting. Walls coming on up. This is something actually needs to be paid attention to. He's got to make sure he keeps the trade safe. He's going to dive in here, potentially Myriad. Anyway, something important to think about also is the outposts, actually, for the English. You probably want to try and creep these forward as you can, just to increase the network of castles bonus, to increase the attack speed, of course. Probably quite important to have in fights. Speaking of which, it looks like Zevre is looking for a fight on the left side. One villager there for Baltoon, not many. And he might perish soon. So they're going to be grouping up together, Myriad and Zevre. So Baltoon moving forward a little bit just to try and find some damage. Of course, high mobility units are nice, so oh, you could get some really big damage here charging in. Oh no, Myriad going to lose so many villagers in a blink of an eye. That's one thing got to be always careful about when you're taking little spots of resources here on the mid-map. It's getting caught out like that. So they're going for a counter-attack though. Of course, Baltoon's army is out of position, but Keika is there to defend his teammate. You'll want to hold on just before Baltoon's army comes on back to join the fight. Now, veterancy is in play for Myriad as well. He's got to buy time. Keika cannot dive into this fight, not without Baltoon's army screening him. Looks like he's going around the back here. Myriad could pick off a couple of villages on wood lines. He's got to be careful, Baltoon, not to get caught. Gonna go on the left side. There was the Royal Institute placement, by the way, kind of hidden away for Baltoon in the corner. He's going to potentially charge on in. Oh, Zevre. He's not with his teammate. Myriad needs to get close to this fight. He won't want to take this alone. Zevre, if he can. Needs to backtrack. Bannerman goes down. Knights are charging in there for Baltoon. This is a great engagement for the warm colours of the north. A couple of more knights coming around the back. I mean, he did get a bit of a raiding force there, but I don't think it achieved really what he wanted to. He might be coming in for a pincer attack around the back. This could work out well, actually, for Myriad if he can get on top of the crossbows, but he can't because Baltoon's paying attention. Bit of a death ball of an army. And the knights are split for Myriad, which is a bit of a problem if they get caught. Looks like the cool colours of the south will be retreating here. These knights need to back away, constantly keeping Baltoon's army split as well, though, if he can. He engages. I mean, Myriad might win that fight, actually. It's kind of neck and neck. Let's see. 9 till 10. Well, it's very close. Could go either way. It feels like the knight numbers are starting to creep ahead there for Baltoon, so he probably will win this. A couple of weak ones there for Myriad. Yeah, Baltoon wins that in the end, but in the south, he's charging on through. Some massive skirmishes. This is a fight that Baltoon will win as well, so Myriad not really winning here at all. Baltoon knight numbers are looking good. In fact, Baltoon's military number up to 24, pretty much neck and neck as they group up together in the middle now. Baltoon going to send his forces back to his base as the farming transition comes out for him. Nothing of the sort for Myriad. Is up. which of course is very important for the French. Get the discount there on the knights. They now cost only 112 food and 80 gold. It's a big discount when you compare it to what Baltoon's paying, 140 food to 100 gold. The big thing we've got to make sure we pay attention to is the number of traders, just slowly trickling them in. Well, to be fair, it's a decent chunk there. Not bad at all. Now, something to consider is, of course, Keika's economy is very much with villages, 2 town centres, huge number of farms, a lot easier to protect in a way than traders. Traders are easier to scale, markets are cheaper, you pump them out, but if you lose access to trade, you're in trouble. Of course, this is only farms with food. That all changes in the Imperial Age when they get access to enclosures. Around the right, knights charging on through. We'll kill 2 villagers. Baltoon just keeping an eye on where the Japanese army are, who did get to the castle age, by the way, a little bit earlier, with the veterancy upgrades all in. I kind of wish the overlay showed number of relics, actually. That would have been nice to have seen. We'll just have to, I guess, individually click on stuff. Well, we could do that. I guess the floating gate. Wait. Has he got a monastery? Doesn't look like it. Nothing popped in there just yet in terms of relics. Nothing here for Myriad either. Oh, another town centre coming in for Baltoon, a bit closer to Keika's base. As Keika's starting to really move out now. Wallow coming on, and it shouldn't be able to achieve that. It would be crazy if he did. Oh, massacre of villagers though. Holy moly, Myriad! He just lost a whole chunk of villagers. So Knights diving in now. This could be a good engagement for the warm colours if they did engage. They didn't, because of course the spearmen are as slow as they can get. Myriad definitely not going to want to fight that until his teammate could arrive. That might change the plan. For now, he's backing away. That's the right thing to do. Good few villagers die in the corner of the map. They're off the map. Literally kicked off the map. Wallow won't work for him. Yeah, you can see the Japanese slowly trying to get some of those relics in. As the infantry mass does engage, Baltoon going to engage as well. Potentially, Myriad might come in from the north, but he's not there just yet. The Japanese do have a lot of units though, and he's going to fight from the north as well. Myriad charging on in, and from the south, huge number of units. And I think this is a fight that actually the English can't back away. They may have potentially overextended. This should be a good fight for the cool colours. Although these knights on the north, they're finding it difficult to path around and engage. The Yumi Ashigari are going to be pushing forward now, trying to focus as many of the crossbows as they can, doing a great job of it. Not many knights from either players, and to be fair, Baltoon's knight mass is starting to hold. There's way too many Yumi Ashigaru. Baltoon probably just needs to escape with what he can. He's got the movement speed to do so. Unfortunately, the English army don't have that mobility, and so they will be left hung out to dry, but ultimately Baltoon cannot risk losing these knights. Of course, he ends up backing away. What kind of weird walls here, holy moly. Wait, I mean, it's anyone's guess who can actually pass through here. So, this is open for the cool colours. I guess it's so weird. Like, I guess the Baltoon has kind of blocked this off. That gate doesn't work, does it? I don't even know if that works. It's so weird. That doesn't look right. Okay, well, we'll see eventually, I guess, if they look to pass through there. And that gate doesn't... Wait, maybe the gate does work, because the villages are through, but we don't know... We don't know the sequence of events of when those walls were built. Well, it's a little bit ropey now as the number of units here for Baltoon's team and Keika. 75 military. That last engagement really hurt them. They're going to have to reset and regroup behind these walls. Zevre pushing through, breaking through. Looks like Myriad going to send a force through the west. Maybe get a bit of a raiding party going on. Now, overall, what's interesting is the economy is clearly buzzing for the warm colours of the north. But it's the military that's buzzing for the cool colours of the south. That economy won't take long to scale for Myriad at least. But it feels like Zevre has got to find a way of getting more economy himself. Because when things get to the Imperial Age, it could get a bit dicey for the cool colours of the south. Speaking of which, If the warm colours of the north do start to share resources, both players could potentially get to that Imperial Age at a really good time. The amount of gold Baltoon's gathering and getting at the moment is insane. The amount of food that Keika is getting is equally insane. Speaking about insane, an insane position for the keep on the 8,000 gold vein. That's going to secure gold for quite some time. That's going to be important to get. Let's risk... potentially we're going to charge through, but decides better of it. Backs away for now. Looks like these villagers are going to try and escape. I love the fact that there's every ward behind this as well. This makes it a really awkward situation. I don't even know who can get through here and who can't. Outpost going up. Can protect themselves with the keep. Myriad sending some food to Zevre. So there's the first kind of market trading between the two players. And it looks like he's just trying to get rid of some of the floating resources here, Myriad, as he burns this down. The cool colours of the south, it feels like they're on a timer though, right? Kind of feels like they need to do some damage, utilise the extra military, because they're falling behind in economy big time. Does Myriad go for this? It's good. This could be a trap, actually. This is kind of awkward. This is not really where you want to go to if you're knight players in the corners. Corners aren't your friends. Not when there's infantry mass coming here. I think Keika reads it. He knows this is happening. He's going to go for the... this is not looking good. It's going to be a trap. That's a lot of man-at-arms, a lot of crossbow. This is going to be great for Keika, but he needs to secure this. He needs to get units here to make sure the retreat's cut off. Now, I think Myriad gets away with this, but not without losing a good few chunk of knights. That's a great pick-off by the warm colours of the north. The thing they were lagging behind was military, and maybe not so much anymore, as even some Japanese infantry go a little bit too zealous and split the ranks. Great fight there for Baltoon and Keika. Now, what really tells the difference between the two teams, is the economy. Myriad can lose 2 knights here, most likely. Loses 1. Might get away with that second one. Okay, looks like Myriad can escape here. The question is, can they get through here? Well, Keika can't without burning this down. It shouldn't be too much of a problem anyway, because he's got man-at-arms. So the knights will break through first. And keep here for Baltoon, just to secure this side of the map. Almost 30 minutes of the game. An absolutely cracking game of Age of Empires. Kind of curious to see who's going to be able to get out there soon. Across the map and break through these walls. Keika sending some food to Baltoon. I don't know if Baltoon can really stick around here. He's going to back away for now. And a couple of Onnamusha being added. But don't forget, the French added a second town centre and a third town centre. So Baltoon's economy going to be buzzing as well. 115 villagers, matching what the English are getting right now. Zevre far behind on that front, as the knights do charge on through for Baltoon, acting as that front meat shield. I gotta say though, whilst the knight numbers are looking good for Myriad, you feel like the Yumi Ashigaru, well, to be fair, they are focusing on the crossbows, so he's doing a great job of microing this Zevre, and he has to, because really that's the only utilization of these Yumi Ashigaru. He's got to focus on the crossbows. In the end, actually, looks like a decent fight for these knights. It's back away. Just too many man-at-arms. These man-at-arms, I mean, knights are technically supposed to counter man-at-arms, but these ones are a bit busted with the ironclad upgrades. Down the south, oh, massive raids. Those going to go for the trade. We talked about this earlier in the cast, that actually trade can be, it can be really great for your economy, but it's a lot easier to lose compared to town centre villages and a main base. It's kind of a weird one to read, actually. These man-at-arms are hella tanky. The knights here for Baltoon doing great work, and he's killing so many traders, forcing Myriad to send units back, and these knights have done an incredible amount of damage. And this fight that's relatively even up here, with Baltoon already getting to the Imperial Age. So these knights just about to get even stronger. Myriad, though, he's struggling for gold, and that gold problem is going to get even worse, having lost so many traders. We even have some Onnamusha now, and veteran samurai adding into the mix. Keika, though, goes to the Imperial Age as well, so it's double Imperial Age for the warm colours of the north. That's going to be hard now for Myriad, because Keika and Baltoon got the tech advantage, they've got the economy advantage, and they're pretty neck and neck on military. Zevre gotta go to the Imperial Age. with a Tanegashima gunsmith. Still traders suffering. Sending some knights down to this side of the trade as well. I think they need stone walls, really. That's the only clear way to protect this trade. Units? Yeah, you can send your units, but you'll always continue to lose traders as he is there. Oh, and these Imperial Age Knights now, these will chew through these traders like anything. The question is, where's going to be the safe gold here for Myriad? He's got it here. Got to keep there to protect it as well. Gonna need to chomp down as much of that gold as he can. As he's going to look to try and get trader numbers back up again. He's still producing them. But push coming down the middle. This is definitely a focal point for the attack. Looks like Baltoon and Cake are going to focus on this area. Understandably so. They've got tech advantage as well. So now could be a decent time to fight. Sheer numbers wise, they're kind of suffering though. Of course, sacrificing some knights for the traders. Probably a worthwhile trade. The pun intended. Red Palace coming up though for Myriad. So it's going to secure things a little bit. And looks like it's going to go for the Red Palace in the south corner of the map to protect that trade. At least in this segment. As the wall's coming up for Zevre. Here come the Onimusha. These will do great against even elite knights, by the way. They are knight slayers. But these knights won't go down without taking some traders with them. Oh no, look at the mass dead vills there from Myriad. He was gathering gold here, but not anymore. And you can see the team in the north really focusing on where the team in the south are getting gold from. And it's understandable. You cut off gold, you cut off knights. And this is rough for Myriad because he's going to get to the Imperial Age, but he won't even be able to afford the Imperial Age upgrades for his knights, which he only has a handful. To be fair, he's got more knights than Baltoon has. Baltoon has put his knights to very good use. Right, looks like Myriad will be grouping up together now, once again. Oh, Relic coming back here for the Japanese. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. We haven't really had a second to breathe in this fight, in this match. Speaking of fights, another one might break out here. The thing is, the cool colours of the south, they do have good military numbers. Behind on economy, so the longer the game goes, you feel like Baltoon and Keiko will be feeling comfortable. Maybe Myriad and Zevre can make something happen. The issue at this stage of the game is that this economy is so well protected. There's the White Tower, 2 town centres. He's got the Wingard Palace, which he's not really using as much of. So kind of curious to see if he will make units from that. Just your typical elite man-at-arms crossbow composition here for Keika. Gold gathering here for the Japanese. Looks like Baltoon and Keiko want to put some pressure on down on the right side this time. They could potentially take out a lot of infrastructure. If they can torch down the stables, Myriad can have as much economy as he wants, but if he doesn't have production buildings, he won't be making knights. Oh, this could be a big pick-off. And he probably needs to torch down the keep. The keep will not go up. Oh, well, Baltoon. Well, torch it, torch it, torch it. So he can't make it again. Oh, he's not going to. He's going to come down the south because he wants to protect his base, understandably so. He's going to lose his own keep, in fact, and that means the discount won't be applied to these stables. Got Tanegishi. Oh, these Onimusha, though. These knights from Baltoon, they need to get out of this. This is not going to be an ideal fight for him by any means. Good number of crossbows from Keika, but those crossbows are going to get absolutely chewed apart by those knights in the north part of this fight from Myriad. This is a great fight here for Myriad's team and Zevre. They should be able to win this quite comprehensively. That means Baltoon and Keika need to reset. They've gone down to 58 military. An epic fight. Of course, defender's advantage worked out so well here for Myriad and Zevre. But behind this, Baltoon going to get a keep up to protect the recoil from this fight. Got to keep up here in the end as well. Great fight there for Zevre and Myriad. But now they need to find to make this worth their while and push on in. The crazy situation, though, is that Baltoon and Keika just got so many banked up resources. They can just remake that army pretty quickly. The question is, can they make it quick enough? Because Myriad and Zevre are not holding back here. Going to send a couple of units on the right side as well. Is Myriad spots the walls coming up. Not sure if he'll deny this villager, but probably will. question is, how do they deal with the keeps and the production buildings? There's no siege here, really. Feels like he needs it. I might just torch this down. I don't know, because don't forget, the Red Palace is in play for Baltoon's keeps. These keeps do a heck of a lot of damage. There's 2 of them, by the way. They've got the 41 arbalest damage. Here comes the army for Keika on the right side. A bit of a raid here with these French Royal Knights. It means that they're not here to fight with, though, so suboptimal. But to be fair, he's got so many military units. He's got enough for sure. He probably will lose his keep in the end. The sheer numbers working out well. Villagers scampering for their lives for Baltoon into the keep. Looks like Myriad going to be raiding as well as joining the fight in the middle with Zevre. Might need to back away. The keep is still alive. Baltoon keeps it repaired. Oh, I don't know about that fight. He lost a lot. It feels like they needed to do something. Nice. Kind of running into some walls, but that won't bother them too much. They'll be able to break on through. The push is kind of held. This keep being repaired. Here come the knights around on the farms. Villagers have to scamper for their lives. But Keika has got many of them. Some wood being sent to Zevre. Myriad just floating a little bit, charges on through. This time, though, I'm not so sure if Baltoon and Keika can hold this. That keeps bound to go down. Around the back, it's being raided to death as well. And the big thing is, of course, when you lose villagers on farms, that means gold income's reduced as well because of enclosures being in. This is a great fight here for Myriad and Zevre, pushing right down the middle, but can it be enough? They really need to keep pushing on in, because that economy from Keika and Baltoon will replace the army when they lose it. And they could feel like they could do this forever as long as they keep production up. They are slowly being pushed back though. Anything happening down on the left side? Nothing yet on that trade. The trade is booming once again. There's a lot of traders there from the French. With Myriad charging on through. I think actually, to be fair, Baltoon will win that fight. Less numbers, but better HP on these units, of course. Push continues down the center. Less than half gold left on that 8,000 gold vein tile. I'm kind of curious to see if Baltoon will think about trade himself, because eventually the gold will run out on the map. Once that happens, he needs a safe source, and that is one thing we need to talk about. We talk about farming transitions and food stability of income. But what about gold? That's got to be something that Baltoon's thinking about. Maybe not quite yet. But in the next 5-10 minutes, he might be running out of gold income. Because he's mopping this up. As is Keika, by the way. Oh, it's pushing down the middle. The crazy situation is they've held. Not only that, they've been able to ramp up production once again. They've got a really full force here. Got the elite Royal Knights. Got the man-at-arms from the English. A couple of crossbows added in too. And still going into the veteran Yumi Ashigaru. These have not been upgraded, by the way. This is not ideal for Zevre. He needs these to be Imperial Age units. I think this is a fight that actually Baltoon will be very happy taking, because these Yumi Ashigaru won't be doing too much. And it's just, I think this is a fight that Baltoon and Keika win. They win it quite comprehensively. It feels like the Japanese need to move away from the Yumi Ashigaru. More into the Onimusha. They're going to try and fight and hold up with this castle, though. I don't know if they have enough. They're slowly starting to dwindle. And resources are running dry for the cool colours of the south. And this push is a strong one from Baltoon. And Keika should be able to torch this down if the unit numbers start to dwindle. It's got a lot of nice Baltoon. At least it feels like it does. It's certainly got more than Myriad has, and of course Myriad now having to back away. Yeah, I think he just torches this down. Does he wait for siege potentially? There's man-at-arms. Knights together could take this down pretty quickly. Yeah, looks like they will go for it in the end. Network of castles is going thick and strong. And that outpost creep is working well for him. Zevre just trying to poke and prod, get some value. We won't be able to deny the keep going down. There's probably quite a ton of villagers there. Is that villagers in there? Must be, right? Wherever's... Yeah. Oh, God. They're going to go down pretty quickly. Ouch. More wood given to Zevre. And the keep goes up in the second gold. 4,000 on this one. Oh, trade is being set up, by the way, for Baltoon. There's the long-term plans for gold income. Stone walls are up, though, for Zevre. So that'll be hard to punish. That means the pressure might come just right down the middle for Baltun and Keika. Without siege, they can't really break through the left. Or can they? They've got some rams. Have we got any siege workshops here? Sometimes you see some sneaky plays with the rams, but nothing to be shown there just yet. Oh, massive. Oh, he's sacrificing villagers here, Baltun, for the trap. And I think it's worth it. I mean, ultimately, he's getting trade, right? He goes for the trap and he picks off so many knights. Nicely done there by Baltun. Myriad sending the gold he's getting from the trade, of course. Ton of villagers here mining away on stone. Nice pick off there, because Myriad is down to 23 military. Baltun, more than double that. Now, granted, some of these units are horsemen. Whilst Baltun gets his gold transition in for the form of the traders, he's just pumping some horsemen to buy some time. Oh, villagers there for Myriad. Gonna be able to scamper away just in time. Behind the palisades. This is a fight that Myriad will certainly win, but Baltun buying time more than anything. In the middle, looks like Zevre and Keika just having a bit of a dance. Oh, charges on through. This is a fight that Baltun surely should win. Myriad will win this one. In the middle, looks like Keika and Zevre poking and prodding. There's a lot of action on this map, but it's chaos and I love it. Oh, villagers here really going crazy. There's not enough space for the villagers to mine this gold, but they're going to do it anyway. Fighting underneath the keep that Baltun has. I don't know about this, and Myriad is going to back away now because Zevre has joined the fight. But so has Keika. You can see the ding-dong of the English network of castles. This one's hard to read. I mean, Myriad's just got way too many knights. He wins this fight, and he wins it quite comprehensively. And that's happened a couple of times now for Baltun and Keika. They haven't been winning fights recently. Sure, they've got great economy, but if they keep losing fights like this, it's going to bite them in the butt sooner rather than later. And there's a lot of villagers for Baltun going down here, but I don't think he minds, actually, because that's just going to pop up as traders. And he needs that gold income. Trebuchets are out now for Keika. Keep out to go down, but he's got a lot of crossbows. Look how many crossbows he's got here. Those will chew through Myriad's knights, but only as long as the Baltun knights can screen them. And that screen is slowly evaporating. Keika sending some food to Baltun. A heck of a lot of food, by the way. And how all they need is gold. And then we'll get pumping. Bit of an even fight. There's man-at-arms, though, being absolutely decimated as more charge on through. Looks like the reinforcements, though, coming in for Baltun. Look at those knights coming in to join on in. Oh, siege workshop! That's what we want to see. That's what could potentially make the difference. Break through the trade on the left. Attack the trade once again. That could be what kills the game off. If they can't protect that trade, Myriad and Zevre, it's going to be dicey. Stone walls coming up for Baltun on the right, protecting the trade. It's such an important component of a team game. Protect that trade. There's actually a decent chunk of gold down the middle. They could protect. They could take this. They've got control of it. Oh, Myriad trying to break through on that trade on the right side. He must sense it, right? You see stone walls, you've got to think trade. Royal cannon. We'll make short work of this if he can actually get a good few shots. Oh, he decides to back away. He's not taking any chances. Trying to scare the army away, but both players here on the east recognizing this position. Zevre's army, though, super out of position. This could turn really bad for Myriad if he's not running away from this. Looks like if the cannon gets spotted, that will certainly be going down. He's trying to evacuate the situation. But look at that. They spot it, and they sense danger. And there's only palisade walls here to protect it. He wants to keep the royal cannon. He's diving on in. Zevre needs to get his butt over here, but you know, the infantry, they don't move fast. Bowler's going to fight this. I don't know about this from Myriad. He has to run away. No option. Military numbers pretty neck and neck. The economy, not so much. Now, looks like might Might go for a bit of a pincer attack here. Zebra on the left, Myriad from the south. Baltoon, Keika, will they take this fight actually? It feels like they probably could. I think they will. I mean, to be fair, if they don't, Keika can't really run away from this, right? So Baltoon engages with the horsemen. It's going to save the knights. Oh, I love that split of the army, right? Going to send the trash units to let the rest of the army escape. That is super smart. Makes a lot of sense. I'm almost saying that they couldn't escape, but, well, Baltoon found a way to escape. Send the horsemen. Sacrifice them. Allow Keika to back away with the French elite royal knights from Baltoon. So they can fight another day. Is the ram in yet? He's breaking through. Oh, almost did. He dealt with it. Zebra going to get a keep. Recognizing there's danger there. Going to secure it on up. And this is interesting, by the way. This is something that's often overlooked. But segmenting walls like this on your trade is super powerful. Because, to be fair, it's better with stone walls, of course. Everything's better with stone walls. But what this allows to happen is, even if the enemy breaks through one segment, like here, which they will, momentarily, the traders can retreat behind this wall and they're protected by another layer. They didn't have this here, Zebra and Myriad, earlier in the game. And so if you play team games, that's always one thing to bear in mind. Have multiple layers of stone wall, and you should be safe. You want to keep those traders alive. Charges on through here, Baltoon. Crossbows behind him for Keika. This is a weird choke point, though. It feels as it favors Keika's army, right? Because he's got crossbows. But there's still a good chunk of veteran Yumi Ashigaru. Zebra needs to upgrade these units. He's been in Imperial Age for a very long time. Keep coming up here for Myriad, though, to try and deny that trade. So that's something he's going to have to deal with here, Baltoon, if he wants to keep the trade alive and going. This is actually a really strong push here for Myriad and Zevre. Even with veterancy on these Yumi Ashigaru, it's the Onimusha that are doing great work. But don't forget one thing. This push looks strong, but defender's advantage for Baltoon and Keika could mean these infantry units are caught out. But once you push ahead like this, it's hard to retreat. Especially if your cavalry from the enemy surrounds you. Castle here slowly being trapped. And I keep around the keep, which makes a lot of sense. Turn out the trade, cut off gold. Looks like maybe it's Myriad's and Zebre's turn to deny trade. This ram has a dream to break through, though. Now, Keika's gold income is still relatively secured. That's my hotkey. Don't want to do that. It's still relatively secured with gold from the enclosures. It's not a huge amount of gold, but it's enough, at least for the short term. Baltoon, it looks like he's gathering gold in the middle, but comes out later because this is a massive fight. Maybe a game-turning fight. There's cannons here, by the way. Going to be working on the keep. It just looks like Baltoon has too many. He's got stables here as well, by the way, reinforcing. Oh, this could be bad. This could be very bad for Zevre. He has to slowly backtrack here. Myriad's army isn't enough to hold this. Down in the middle. No, it's just one spearman. Pokey pokey. Yeah, this is what we talked about. Now Zevre can't retreat. His army will be lost. Baltoon numbers way too good. And the knights are super fast to join the fight again. He's trying to get forward production here, Myriad. But it's not quick enough. And he might even lose his position. He's going to lose the cannon. He might lose everything. The hand cannoneers demolishing Myriad's cavalry. The cannons go down. These are super expensive units. And they will be pushed back. Oh, he's pushing down the left. Baltoon sending a whole bunch of knights as well. Gold income going to be cut off. Zevre doesn't have much. Myriad has about 2 grand in the bank. But that won't last him all that long. But it's a flood of infantry. But these are relatively... I mean, the veteran samurai, they're castle age units at this stage. Gonna get the palisades. These won't hold them. It might block them out for a second or two. I won't even do that because these knights charge on through at the perfect time. And they can just torch it down anyway. On the right side, Baltoon needs to be careful not to lose these units. Either way, this is a fight that Baltoon will most certainly win. The economy count dwindling for Myriad. And I think Baltoon maybe even just wins this fight straight up. He lost a lot of villagers there, Zevre. And this is not good for their trade. Myriad sending the gold for Zevre because Zevre needs gold. But so does Myriad. He needs to keep up knight production. He should be able to clear this up now. In the middle, looks like Zevre trying to push through. Granted, the trade is denied for Baltoon and Keika as well. They're both really eyeing up trade. Wow, Baltoon overwhelming in the situation. He's still flooding. And if he can get a keep here, I was getting walls instead. I mean, that does the same job in denying the trade. He's charging on through. He had some good villager picks. Now, the question is, with both teams suffering on gold trade, that's going to become an issue, but enclosures is there for the English. Never really caught up on the number of relics. I mean, we probably should take a time to look at that, but I don't think we've got the time. I mean, ultimately, relics on their own wouldn't be enough anyway. They need that trade. I think that's got to be a bit of a feedback for the UI, actually. I might try and get that sorted out for upcoming games to get the relic counters on. Just makes it a little bit easier amongst all the mayhem. Speaking of mayhem, down the middle, Zevre's army caught by Baltoon and Keika. Right down the middle. And Baltoon still fighting in this out, denying the trade for as long as he can. He might even win this fight. I think maybe it's going to be a close one. Oh no, it won't be a close one. He will definitely win that fight. And in the middle too, this is looking dire for Myriad and Zevre. They lost a lot of trade. Looks like they're going to be pushed down right down the middle. Myriad going to get a bit of a raid down the right side, but the trouble is, it's very hard to raid the English to death. There's just too much working for them. There's even the town centers, by the way, with the Red Palace. Get the extra Arbalest attack. And there's so many hand cannoneers. The quality of army here from Keika and Baltoon is just too strong. He does have the elite Yumi Ashigaru now, but not enough numbers. Overwhelmed in the middle. Myriad has somewhat secured the trade again, or at least in terms of unit numbers, but the walls are there, so he has to deal with that first. Baltoon sending a force of knights to chase Myriads. But the biggest problem is down the middle. The question is, can they ever deal with this knight number and the crossbow numbers? Myriad trickling in knights. He's got to find a way to mass them up before engaging. It's got to be down to Zevre to hold this position for as long as he can. He spots the walls, breaks a couple of them, going around the back. Myriad's forces, they will be taken care of in the end, so trade is still kind of working. Are they trading? They're trading to this market, so they're still trade operational. You cannot say the same for Zevre. He doesn't have a market here anymore. And the trade can't get through down the middle. They've kind of stabilized a little bit here, Myriad and Zevre. The question is for how long? The important detail. So it looks like they're still trading. There we go. That's where they're trading to. It's 39 gold. It's actually not too bad overall, all things considered. So the gold income continuing is great for the Knights. I think Myriad is really struggling to pump numbers. He's got 14 military. Compare that to 61 from Baltoon. He's got some gold in the bank, but obviously not nearly enough. As Baltoon's going to send even further down the left side. Yeah, they're down to 83 military. Behind on economy. I think slowly but surely. The cool colours of the south are struggling. And this army here from Keika himself should be enough to hold this position. And I think Zevre and Myriad with an army combined here can take this fight on the left side. There's gonna be a death of traders here. Baltoon sends gold to Keika just to combat the issue. Look how much food Keika's got. Almost 10,000 in the bank. Traders here going down as well. There's no way to keep them alive at this point. Down the middle as well. This looks like a unstoppable force from Keika. Gonna try and maybe raid on the right side with a couple of knights, but I don't think they can do it quick enough. And there it is. We heard the ding-dong of a GG. There it is. GG gets called, and it will be the warm colours of the North, taking game number 1 of the Noodle Hair Cup. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. I'll basically leave a playlist of all the tournament games on your screen right now, so check them out if you like team games. Take care, and see you next time.